Hello everybody and welcome back to the GP Labs channel here for kind of a special video I wanted to do today. We're here in Grand Prix Legends at the new finished Spa-Francorchamps track. Well, not the new track, the 67 version, but it's all completely redone. Of course, this track is one that comes with the original Grand Prix Legends sim. But there's a group that redid it over the past, I think like 9 years to make a much more accurate version. It's a pretty cool story. On the website for the track you can see, or you can read about the whole thing and how many different people it was handed off to during its development and how many times nobody was working on it for like a year or something, which is why it took so long. But as with anything that takes a long time, I think the effort was put into it, and it's absolutely amazing. We're sitting here on the main straight in the pits looking down towards Eau Rouge, and you can tell already just the amount of detail. This track, oddly enough, I think it's probably the largest file size track ever made for Grand Prix Legends. I think even the Targa Florio, which is a massive track, many times longer than this track, is smaller in size. And with this being such a large track in such an old sim, there are some performance problems that took a little bit sorting out. I ended up finding how to get it to run for me. It seems like most people are able to find a way to get it running, but it's absolutely awesome. So I thought do a quick run through here in our 67 Ferrari 312. I'll do a kind of a slower lap, and I can describe kind of the differences that I've noticed from the original Papyrus version to this, and then maybe try to do a flying lap the best I can. I haven't had a lot of practice, so we'll see how it goes. But why don't we roll out of the pits here. One thing I do want to note on this pit straight, looking into the crowd there and stuff, I think they've done a much better job to create the carnival-like atmosphere that I think these circuits had back in this day. If you look at pictures from this track, this is obviously what you'd see. A lot of people standing everywhere, very colorful billboards, obviously all hand-painted and stuff. Really cool to see. And going into the bottom of Eau Rouge here, much more of a left and right turn and much narrower. I think the whole track is much narrower, of course, for accuracy. Climbing up through Radion now, pick up the pace a little bit so this lap doesn't take 15 minutes, as it is still a long track. But now we'll come down. This is the Kemmel Straight, of course, part of the track today, as is that whole first section. This part is notably more twisty in this version than in the original Papyrus version, and even the modern track. I think they must have straightened this whole straightaway out, because as we come up here to Lake Combe, which you can just see at the end of this beautiful tree line to our left, with all the people poking in and out of the woods, it's amazing. But at the end of this tree line here, this is Lake Combe, and this is where the modern circuit takes a right and kind of dives down through a GP section, and this is where the classic one goes on and on onto long straights of bliss. So we'll come out here, absolutely beautiful. Notice all it really feels like you're driving through Belgium. I know this track was recently released for R Factor 2 as well, and that version was a big improvement over the Grand Prix Legends version, but I think this one is even more accurate than that. Everything, you look at every picture, everything is in the exact right spot, everything is colored correctly. It's now already coming down into Bernville here. This part, I've noticed, is so much more narrow, and it makes it much more difficult to drive, because there's not as much room to kind of slide your car through. And some houses very close to the circuit. There's so much stuff close to the edge of the track here, you really have to be careful. As now we'll come into Malmedy, and this is one of the first sections I was like, wow, so different, because in the Papyrus version it really drops off here. This one is much less of a hill, so you can go much quicker, actually. I've been getting almost flat through there, which is pretty exciting. And now we'll head down the Masta Straight. This is one of my favorite sections. I'm going to slow down for a quick second. This hill here looks absolutely amazing when you're coming at it with all the little bushes on it. This guy, Thomas Lacko, who I've mentioned before, he did all the texture work for this track, or most of it, I think, and he has a beautiful style which isn't really used anymore in capturing light sources on the actual textures. But for Grand Prix Legends it's perfect because there is no lighting source, so you need to create that sense of lighting source, and he does an absolutely amazing job. So it looks, like a bright sunny day here. I heard there might be other packs released at some point to make it look cloudy. But here into the Master Kink, so scary in this version. At slow speed it doesn't do it justice, but much tighter, and there's this little dip right here in the circuit that likes to throw the car sideways, and you almost run into these people there on the left every time. Absolutely frightening. I'm sure that's why they were standing there, for the enjoyment, the frighteningness of it. So now coming down I think the Hollowell straight into the Hollowell curve and Stavelo. This part, big difference as well. I think this is one of the noted points that was incorrect in the original version. But the turn is much sharper to start here as you go over a little bridge, and then Stavelo here is climbing much more than the original version in a late apex corner. Just clip through the bridge there, up and now onto the straightaways towards the end of the circuit. This is probably not so different part of the track. It's all a bit different though. I mean, you really can't take much of what you learned other than where a left and a right turn was from the Papyrus version, but this part of the track is really probably about rhythm, and I don't have this part down yet. So when I do a quicker lap here coming up, I definitely won't be flying as much as you could be through here. But it's just absolutely, with all the objects, your sense of speed is so much higher. I think the old version had many instances where you had large viewing distances, which is impressive, but it doesn't make you feel like you're going very fast. And on this track, as we look down this massive straight, we have very long viewing distances, but so many little objects near me, it makes you feel like you're going really fast. Even right now, as we're only in 4th gear at 7,000 RPM, we're not doing anything. The shadows add to it too. It's absolutely amazing. It's incredible track. I really can't say enough good things about it. So now we'll kind of slow down here. I think we're coming into Blanchimont. I don't know exactly which turn. I think it's this one up on the left here with the braking markers. Blanchimont. Tricky corner. Used to pass here a lot on the old version of the circuit, but don't know. I haven't really raced the AI yet. That could be something to do in a future video. And we have just a couple corners left to go. The left-hand turn here before coming to La Source and the end of the lap. Back to the start through the woods. You've made it another lap. One thing about La Source here, obviously the amount of objects is incredible to the left and right, and it's actually like a bowl corner with some banking, which is really cool, and a huge curb on the inside. Absolutely awesome. And there we'll sit at the top of the hill at La Source, and you can see the track winding away in the distance. It's a little bit of the actual track and like a painting. It's unbelievable. It's like you're driving through a piece of art. Like, look at the banners here on the side. They kind of look like a photo. They might be a bit of a photo mashed up. It's just incredible. For a sim made in 1998 to look this good, be this accurate, is unbelievable. Do yourself a favor and download this track, get Grand Prix Legends, and have a good time. You can get this track at the Sim Racing Mirror Zone, srmz.net. I'll put that in the description of the video. And those guys there, they'll help you figure out how to set up the sim. It's not that hard to do. It takes a little bit of troubleshooting. But anyway, let's try to do a quickish lap here. Hopefully I won't make a fool of myself. Here we go. Nice little burnout there. So now we'll dive down the front stretch. I notice you have to start braking much earlier into Eau Rouge here. Probably giving it a little too easy. Tires are very cold still. So now we'll come up through Radion and down the Kemmel straight. The Kemmel not so straight. dipping into the grass there and getting very sideways. Up into Lacombe, down into second gear. The car is sliding a bit wide, like I said, pretty cold tires. I didn't take it very quick at all in that last lap to give any warmth. Now I have to give it just a little bit of a lift through here, I believe, get it settled, as now we'll come down towards Burnville, and you can just notice how much tighter the track is here. Not getting a great line through it. Should have let it jet out towards the outside a bit more. Now flat out in fourth gear, a little bit of a lift. Coming to Malmedy, into third. Back into fourth. A little bit of a lift on the exit. Probably didn't need to. There's a little road there, I didn't realize. And now down the Masta Straight. Fence right up on the left side. The objects whizzing past on the left and right, making it feel like you're going so fast. Now prepare ourselves for the Masta Kink, and hopefully I don't screw this up. A little bit of a breather. Oh, not such a great corner, but I did make it through it, which is what I wanted to do. Now coming up towards Stavolo. This corner, you have to brake a lot more for, I found. You can easily run into that bridge to the outside there. Into third gear, probably giving it making it a little easy through here, not so practiced, as I said. Whoa! And just clipping that inside curb, almost spinning out. Doesn't feel damaged, that was very lucky. It's these little limits that you'll find practicing. Normally I have a bit more practice on one of these circuits before making a video about it, but I just had to get this one out. Cruising now through the forest, people camping to the left side of the track there, getting a great view of the cars whizzing past. Fourth gear, now to fifth gear, coming towards the end of the lap. Blanchimont. Probably, again, not going as quick as I could, but trying not to get the car off the track. This is how you learn a track. You give yourself a little bit of space. You don't try to go flat out in every corner. Again, can probably go quicker through there and brake for La Source. Have to brake pretty early as the track falls away. Oh, I'm tapping the barrier to the outside. Well, that wasn't the best lap. Crossing the line there. But I definitely learned a few things what not to do around the new Spa. So now going up through Radion again, off the throttle. But absolutely freaking awesome. Amazing track. I wish all of the tracks could be done this well, because this is absolutely incredible. I know at some point this track will be converted to another sim. I'm sure of it. I mean, all the great ones from Grand Prix Legends are, but do yourself a favor and get Grand Prix Legends and try this track out in its actual intended environment. It's something else. It really is. Like these trees, it looks, I mean, there's some 3D trees and obviously like a polygon behind them or something with painted trees, but you can't really even see the difference. I mean, the texture work is ridiculous. The object placement is ridiculous. You don't understand how hard it would be to make a track like this. There's not good tools to do this. This is a very manual effort, a labor of love. It's just something absolutely incredible. And I think I'll park the car here on the outside of Lacombe, looking over this beautiful Belgian scenery. Again, you got to try this out for yourself. It's absolutely awesome. But that's it for now. I'll see you guys later.